This is Sean.
This is Kevin.
And this is the One Other Thing, Season 2, Episode 8. My friend, well, where you been?
I don't know. I've been playing video games.
It's actually pretty much been my fault. But, folks, if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. Glad to have you here. If you are a long-time listener, thank you, first of all. But we're sorry. Apparently, we take a big break in July and a big break in December. And I say apparently because we honestly did not know this.
Yeah.
But realistically, we've got right around the 4th of July there, I got tons of family that comes into town. So we've got, the holiday, and then, of course, we've got the 4th of July.
Yeah.
My birthday's on the 6th.
It is, so it's a celebration with fireworks every year.
Exactly. Hence I say the holiday.
Yeah, the holiday.
And the 4th.
And the 4th. Yes, it's a big celebration we have. Yes, hot explosions are involved.
So ended up taking a few weeks off there, and sorry to leave folks hanging again. I know in previous episodes I've commented on how much that annoys me when people I listen to do that.
Yeah, in fact, I'm not even sure, how many listeners we have that are like super, super loyal until we go off there for a little bit. And then I get people like out of the woodwork saying, people I haven't heard from years. I had no idea they were listening to shows. Like, where's your next show happening?
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so I do keep a small presence on Facebook, and yeah, so I went in there one day, and next to know, I got a pop-up saying, where are you? Where's your show?
Well, thank you. It's good to know you're listening. Good to know people are getting some pleasure out of this.
Yeah, shout out to Pam for she's one of the ones who said, hey, where are you?
That's awesome. No, well, thanks, Pam.
Yeah, yep. And Wogelmuth, also to you. I don't know if you've listened to the show or not, but you did join into the chat. So if you start joining in, welcome.
Yeah, welcome. That's fantastic. Well, great. Yeah. Great to have you. Well, this is exciting. Again, we've been away for a little while, so we have a few things to talk about aside from the fact that we've been delinquent with our show.
Yes, very delinquent.
So, today's episode, we're gonna do the What Are You section. Again, been a while. Don't want to exclude that, although, fair warning, folks, I don't really have much in the way of musical recommendations today.
Yeah.
But this should be fun. I'm looking forward to this. Kevin asked me to kind of give him a challenge because Kevin's been challenging me to come up with a list of this and a list of that. And, boy, I really put the screws to Kevin on this one.
I know. Jesus.
So we're going to talk about our book recommendations.
Yeah, and I'm like, book? I mean, I was looking for books I've read that wasn't nothing but pictures.
Yeah.
So it took a while to find those in my house. So I'm like, so it calls Calvin and Hobbes. I assumed didn't count, but
Oh, I would have counted.
It would have counted.
Yeah, I figured that's what it would be. I'd say a book. You'd say like Green Eggs and Ham.
Yeah, Green Eggs and Ham, yes. Calvin and Hobbes, Far Side. That's pretty much what I've been reading the last 10 years. But I dug deep, and apparently I used to read.
So you say?
Yeah, so I say. So. Yeah, maybe get back into that. I actually have been reading lately too. I've been I completed one book.
You said that,
and I'm reading another book as well, which is gonna take longer to finish because JMS is long-winded, man.
Well, honestly, you not reading is just one more reason for me to mock you. I mean, I don't really need much, but no, I think it's good if you enjoy it.
I do like reading. It's just that in life there's a lot of distractions.
I've noticed
a lot.
I do enjoy reading though. I tend to read before I go to bed or as I go to bed. They're almost the same thing at this point.
Yeah. It just when I read, I don't know if it's the same way when you read books, but when I read, I get sucked into it. Like the whole, like I can hear what's happening in the book. I really get into it.
So you do enjoy reading then, because I think people that don't enjoy reading, that doesn't happen. But after a couple words, I'm not really reading at all. It's pretty much like watching a TV show.
Yeah, it's like I'm feeling it. I know how they're feeling, especially because lately I've been more into sci-fi, and then I'm just transported into another world.
Yeah, and that's a sign of a good book too. I mean, because again, reading and sleeping are almost synonyms for me. I'll just pass out reading. Yeah. A good book, I'll end up staying up super late, not meaning to, not even realizing I had, because it's just so good.
Yeah.
But we're going to get to that. So before we jump into the What Are You section, though, Kevin, it's been so long. If people want to contact us and be like, hey, where you been? And, you're back.
You're back. And what's the best way to nag you? Where are you? And send show suggestions and, topics you want to cover or your opinions on some of the topics we cover. Definitely email us at toot@tootcast.net. that's a good place.
Absolutely.
Our website, 2cast.net, is another good place if you forget all the links and emails. And yeah, you hit us on Facebook, and do me a solid, head out on the YouTube there and start watching my videos I've been posting of Mass Effect Trilogy.
Absolutely, yes, yeah.
I'm due for another upload. I actually finished a recording that I haven't uploaded yet, and I'm starting to get better at it because I've never played a video game and discussed it while I was playing.
Yeah.
So that's not something I'm used to. So the first couple episodes I was pretty quiet, but then at the last episode I was home alone and I just let it rip.
Oh, you were Chatty Cathy?
Oh,
nice.
Chatty Cathy. So I think episode number 3 that I will upload is pretty good. So I'm starting to have fun with it.
How far into the game would you say you are?
Oh, this is the first Mass Effect game, and because I'm trying to play, I'm playing as a character, the FemShep, where I never really played FemShep. It has a different feel to it. I'm also not doing what cheats.
Yep.
So I've had to replay a few moments in the game that I died.
Nice. Yeah.
So over and over again, there's a worm that you fight that kept killing me, and then there's another battle I died a couple times. So it's taken me a little bit longer because of that. So I would say I've played long enough where I've collected a few of the main characters you're playing with.
Okay. Yep.
Like Garrus and
Well, I was going to say,
Rex.
he's like the first dude you get. Isn't
yeah.
he? Rex, I couldn't keep alive.
Yeah, Rex.
I loved Rex. I would have kept Rex the whole ride, but I couldn't keep him alive.
Oh, I love him. And I got Liara. And yeah, so I'm a decent. I'm not like super that far enough. I've only played 3 1-hour sessions so far. So
Yeah.
But I'm trying
it's
to.
a big game.
It's
That's
a
what I
big
was
game.
saying.
I'm going through all the dialogue options, and yeah, I'm just enjoying it. And I think it's a beautiful game. And I've forgotten. I was surprised. I went to a planet, land on it. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do now.
That's fantastic.
I
Yeah.
have no idea. I totally forgot.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun. I really enjoy the game, and I can't wait to get to Mass Effect 2 then 3 because they're really, I don't know. They're good follow-ups.
I don't recall ever being stuck or lost in that game though, so the navigation must be pretty spot on. Because you know me, I'll get lost in a square building.
Yeah, it has good waypoints in the game. It's pretty linear once you're on a level, except for when you're exploring planets. But yeah, it's I don't know. I'm having fun.
That's not a knock, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy being lost.
Yeah. Then you can never play Morrowind because Morrowind has no waypoints. You have to talk to characters, and they tell you landmarks to look for.
Oh, I know. Yeah, just Elder Scroll games are mean like that.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank God for waypoints. But
The first arena was like that, just to find a shop in a town.
Yeah.
Like the towns were so big, you'd be like, "Where's the blacksmith?"
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Oh, there's lots of blacksmiths."
Yeah, it's like you gotta look for the building that used to be there like 300 years ago.
Oh, great. Yeah.
It's like real directions in real
Just
life.
cruel games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nasty. Oh, we've got a visitor coming to the show.
Oh, kitty cat.
Yep. Wonder if she's gonna
May come into frame.
Yep, she may make prime time. We'll see.
Yeah.
She's a terror, so it's not going to end well. I'm certain of it. I thought you were going to attack the camera for a minute. That would have been fantastic.
That's awesome.
So anyway,
yeah.
So let's jump into right into the what are you section there. Yeah, we got her.
Oh,
she's a celeb.
If you're watching the YouTube video, you will see a little kitty cat.
Yep.
Bottom of the screen.
Little kitty at the bottom of the screen, and she's going elsewhere to terrorize.
Wow, that's I'm impressed with how careful.
I suspect one or both of us are going to jump randomly as cats randomly claw. So it should be a good show.
Yeah.
So what have you been playing, buddy?
Well, we have not been playing.
No, we're not.
StarCraft.
What, you just on pause? We'll get back to that.
On
We got
pause.
work to do there.
So on here, well, let's start with what I've been playing at home, and not what we're playing here.
Yeah.
That's a whole different story there. At home, I want to get through the list of games that I've been waiting to play. So I played through finally and completed Metro Exodus, which is the 3rd game in the series.
Okay.
And every time we launch a game, it's based on a book. Don't joke, but I really do want to read the book it's based on.
Yeah.
Called Metro 2035. The 3rd game, I'm gonna have to upgrade my computer eventually to play the game.
Yeah.
Because they have a special version of the game that's specifically made for the newest video cards with a 4K TV.
Okay.
And I downloaded it for the fun of it. It won't launch.
That's fantastic.
It won't launch. So now it's bugging me. So the game is gorgeous. At first,
Okay.
you don't know it's gorgeous. When you're playing it, you start off in sewers and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you play it, and you're like, this is not that good looking. And all of a sudden, you break out on land in the middle of a forest, and you're in cabins with the lighting coming into the cabins. You're like, oh, I can see how this would be good on a new video card.
Okay.
This is really pretty. So I completed the game, and unfortunately, I played it in the Sean method of playing, which means I killed everything that moved.
It's the way to do it, yeah.
It's the way to do it, but unfortunately, I got what's called the bad ending.
Okay. That happens.
Yeah, because I didn't care that people were yelling at me in the game. It's like,
You
they were
shoot
just
them.
innocent people, and I had a knife, and it was just easier if I was sneaking around to cut their throat. And I got to the end, I completed the game, and small spoiler, but I died at the end of the game.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm like, what? I'm like, so I Googled it. I'm like, there's multiple endings. I was like, oh. So I relaunched the game, and I'm 3/4 way through the game, and I can tell I'm on the right track because I gained new achievements.
Okay.
Because I have to keep certain people alive that's on my party, and
That'd be
more
horrible
passive.
with that.
Yeah, it's hard. And the game, when it's late at night, it freaks me out.
Okay.
The game is spooky as all hell because you're in these deep, dark sewers with radioactive monsters, and you come into rooms that's nothing but cobwebs. So you pull out just a lighter because you can't see your way past these cobwebs. And you light them up, and you just see little creatures that look like the aliens just crawling in your arms, but they're not hurting you. They're just crawling around you as you're playing. So I'm like, they did really good atmosphere on this game. I do really like it, and I love the Russian theme because they're so like depressing people in general.
It's fantastic.
And they really are.
I have to say, life is harder.
Yeah, I know. They have the whole like accents, and it was just it's. I think it's a good game. I think it's the best one out of 3. I think
played through one of them.
The first one I think was really good. The second one was a little bit not as fun. But because I like the story, the first one better, and the third one is like they're back to form. I really
the one I played. It was like the genocide of a bunch of aliens. It was a bummer to be completely honest. Like the whole game was just like, wow, this is a miserable story.
I know it's the Russian that's how they deal with life.
That was like their happily ever after. Yeah, and it's just like, oh, everyone dies. Yep. Fantastic.
Yes. It is a good game. But I can imagine.
Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the game. It was just, it was kind of a miserable storyline.
So I plan on finishing that game soon, but I can't this weekend because this weekend William Shatner is coming into town, and I need to visit him for a little bit.
Of course you do. As one does.
As one does. So, so this weekend I'll be getting his autograph on Saturday. So that's for my mom. So
that's awesome.
I'm like, it's neat,
Are you going to be able to get like your mom's picture taken with them or anything?
No, those were sold out.
Oh, that was a thing. Okay.
Yeah, that was a thing.
What did that run? Just out of curiosity.
$200. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
A couple $100, man.
I know.
Good on him.
I know. Yeah, the autograph itself was over 100.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That is absolutely nuts.
So we're gonna spend a couple days up there and check them out. I have to bring lawn chairs because it's like a presentation thing. So he'll be doing.
I dare you call him Billy while you're there.
Hey Billy, hey Bill. I think you know what? I think I heard Nimoy call him Billy one time.
I believe it.
Yeah, I think that might be what people that know him call him. Billy.
Yeah.
Hey Billy.
Just call him Billy.
Yeah, Billy. Yeah. How's Takai? Oh, sorry.
That's awesome.
So I plan on finishing. Metro again a second time and getting the good ending because I didn't YouTube look. I don't know what the ending is going to be, so I just want to experience it,
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm going to play, what's that Western game?
Red Dead.
Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm going to play that game and finish it.
I would like to play that too.
That's a goal. life goals. # life goals.
I know. You gotta have a mission.
That game is beautiful.
It is.
And I'm gonna finish that game.
By the time I get around to actually playing it, like through it all the way, the graphics will be outdated.
Yeah, there's DLCs out for it now, and it's like I gotta play this game.
It's brutal.
Yeah, and I'm probably gonna start over like I always do when I don't play a game for like 3 years.
I'm not kidding when I say I may never uninstall that game because it took like a day and a half just to install.
The game is gargantuan.
Enormous.
Yeah, it's like wow.
I may never uninstall it for that reason.
Yeah.
Like I got this. I'm holding on to it now.
Wow. So that game I was playing at my house, and then here, I have been playing games.
We have, because basically my wife and Kevin got together and spent way too much on my birthday, but I now am the proud recipient of a PS5 as well. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, thank God that truck stopped. I mean...
Yeah. Right place, right time, man.
Yeah, I know.
But we've been playing on that. We've been playing, I'll be honest, and I don't know, I bet you can't answer this either. Tell you what, I'll give you $1 if you can. It's in the other room. I will pay him after the show if he knows the answer to this. What's the name of the wrestling game we're playing?
Battle Royale.
Is that the name of it?
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah.
Nice.
Or Battle Rumble. Battle Rumble. Yeah, Battle Rumble.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I can't tell if you're right or not, but Battle Rumble, is that the final answer?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Battle Rumble.
Rumble.
Yes, I think it's Battle Rumble.
Okay, WWE Battle Rumble.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's the name.
Well, this is a PS5 game that is actually free for any PS Plus members this month. So you can all kind of play the home game and find out before Kevin and I do whether or not Kevin wins $1.
Yeah, one.
I honestly, I can't even tell if you're right. I kind of like it, though. There is a battle something on there.
It's Battle something. I thought it was Battle Rumble.
You know, I almost think it's Battle Royal now that you say that.
No, I said that first.
I know,
so
you did
I technically
say that
get credit for both.
You get nothing, but Battle Rumble is your fun. Are you looking it up?
Is it a PS4 game or PS5 game?
It's a PS5 game.
PS5.
Yeah, actually, there's seriously, there are like 20 PS5 games. And I don't see anything that really showcases
Damn it.
yet. Royal? Neither.
No, it's not that. Battle.
Oh boy, we're gonna find out in real time on the show. WWE Battle something. It's like a celebrity death match is what it makes me think of because they're not claymation, but they're kind of claymation. They're supposed to all be action figures. It's a kind of a fun little shtick, and I have to say, actually,
Battlegrounds.
Battlegrounds.
Damn it! I had battle right.
You had the battle.
50 cents.
Yeah,
I think that's 50 cents right there. Right there. I had the first one right.
Battlegrounds.
Damn it.
So anyway, that
so
game. Well, one, it's free.
Yep.
And I do the air quotes because you can spend. I don't know how much, but I've already spent $10 on it.
Pay to win.
No, that's just paid to unlock all the wrestlers, so we could basically be like Hulk Hogan and stuff. But
back when wrestling was real.
Exactly. I have to admit, those a dumb wrestling game, there's nothing like it. They're just special, and this one is no exception. It truly is mindless entertainment and utterly ludicrous, and I freaking love it. I thumbs up.
Yeah, I played wrestling all the time. Yeah, on the Sega and the Nintendo. Yeah.
The 64 wrestling, as good as it gets. So mostly I've been playing PS5. Right now they're giving away so many games, it's stupid, so I'm playing Final Fantasy 15 because Final Fantasy. Need for Speed Heat, of course. And,
I forgot I played that, yeah.
I bought the DLC for that. It was like $1.50.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude, I've gone high roller. I'm just buying things lately. Spending money left and right. Jeez. I'm like $1.50. Ha.
Yeah, that's nothing. It used to be nothing. What the heck?
So, yeah, and you know me. Even when I'm a big spender, that's when I'm spending. $1.50 here, $2.50 there. Yep. But before that, before you guys surprised me with the PS5, I'd basically been playing on the computer, and got a game called They Are Billions, which is it's actually kind of a Warcraft, StarCraft-y kind of game.
Okay.
Real-time strategy. Entirely single player. And I presume you can't do multiplayer. Maybe you can. But basically, it's you build the town, zombies come to kill it, and again, never gets old. Killing zombies. Yep. And also Masters of Orion remake, because I never played those originals.
Yeah, I do like the original. Actually, I like the originals. I like Master Orion 2.
Okay.
The original. That was my favorite one. But I have the one you have. I played it through.
It's a great game. Yeah. I played it through a few times actually. I enjoyed it. So I haven't actually gone back and played the original Masters of Orion ever, but I do have them.
Yep.
So
good games.
But yeah, that's other than that though. What else have we been playing? We've been playing NBA Live 2020.
Yep.
Kevin and I are. Honestly, we play video game basketball only slightly better than we would in real life, which is it's saying a lot.
Yeah. Especially when you pick a regular team instead of like an all-star.
It's an absolute shit show.
It's like, Jesus. And just like in real basketball, the only last 2 minutes of the game matter.
Yeah, exactly. But, despite the fact that I crush you and make you cry, the game's actually been neck and neck the entire ride.
I think it's been cheating.
And then I would if I knew. Believe me.
My controller's further away from the screen.
I can't even press the buttons I need to cheat.
Yeah.
Even if I knew how, I probably couldn't do it in that game.
Yeah.
Too much fun. But so that's pretty much been it. But we will get back to. Well, honestly, this is kind of good. I mean, we've been playing StarCraft 2 for so long. That's pretty much all we've had to talk about. Don't get me wrong, we will get back to that, but it's on pause, and I knew it was going to go on pause anyway because new season Diablo is starting Friday, even though some of us won't be there at the bell.
Out of town.
I don't think that's a problem. I really don't.
I'll be back right away.
For us, it's more of a ritual anyway, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think this season's going to take longer to play to collect all the ethereal.
Yeah, I'd go ethereals.
Ethereals, yeah. Damn Ohio accent.
Neither.
Either, yeah.
I use both. I really do.
Yeah. I think ethereal sounds more
Ethereal?
spooky. Yeah, it sounds more ethereal. You know what? That word sounds like the word.
It does.
That's messed up. Ethereal sounds ethereal.
Onomatopoeia.
No, I already went.
That's great. Actually, that you just somehow, I don't know how that triggered, that sparked something in my brain.
Always does.
Pretty much was busy, turning out the lights for other people, the listeners, who's killing brain cells. But for me, that sparked something.
Yeah.
We got to go back to Phantasmophobia.
Oh, and you know what? It looks like somebody made a game like it as well. I saw an advertisement on Steam.
We should actually make a night of that and creep the shit out of ourselves, play by candlelight or something.
Yeah.
I mean, just something creepy as shit. But I would like to take people through this stupid journey because Kevin and I do stupid things, and I mean epically stupid sometimes without even knowing it. And in hindsight, they're hysterical. And as you may not realize this, that game's one of them. Because, well, this game is basically your Ghost Hunters, which is a fetish of mine. I don't know why. There's no ghost people. There's just none.
I disagree.
Yeah, I know you do. There's just none. But so you go into these haunted houses, basically, and you try to prove the ghosts exist. You try to find proof of them. And the game is so great at the atmosphere. It is spooky as shit. And then, because it's a game, bad shit appears. Zombies appear with axes, and creepy things happen.
Yep.
And it's full of jump scares. And honestly, there have been a few that have been a little bit startling, but the only one that really got me was Kevin charging right at me. It wasn't even a ghost; it was just Kevin, and it just had somewhere to be.
Yeah, I'm coming for you.
That scared the hell right out of me. But we would play that game, and it recognizes, it hears the game, listens. So we would be asking the ghosts, "Who are you?
Yeah, who are you?
Who are you?" And we did this so much that I went to bed one night after you and I had been playing, and I get into bed, Mick had been asleep for a couple hours, and she just says, "Who are you?" I almost peed my pants.
Wow.
But what makes us idiots and what makes that hysterical is later on when we played the game a whole lot more, we finally came to the conclusion that the vehicle you start in, where you choose your gear, if you just take a minute and you read the little quest or the bio of the mission, it literally tells you the person's name.
Oh,
Flat out tells you.
Yeah. Jessica was here.
So meanwhile, we're running into who lives here.
Yeah, so it's basically the ghost is doing a face palm. My name is Jessica. It's right here. Good damn.
It was in the file, you idiots.
Yeah, it's in the file. That's why she killed us. Just because she's like, "You're too dumb to live."
So That's stupid.
It. Yeah. Yeah, you're like, "You're too dumb to live." Sorry.
The game has some neat shit though. The one we actually, because I don't think we've ever really become proficient at that game.
No, and we're always shocked when we get it right.
Well, yeah, the one though we got it right, and we're both rushing out, but you were 3 steps ahead of me.
Yeah.
And the minute you ran through that front door, the door just closed, and it's you get to stay with me.
Yeah, forever.
And it was creepy. I was like, that's good.
And then when you get killed, you're in this alternate dimension for a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's weird.
The what do they call it? In the
The upside down.
The upside down.
I know what you were going for.
Yeah, the upside down.
That's great. I was going to say you're in the Pac-Man zone.
Pac-Man zone?
Yeah, from the dumb Pac-Man racing game we played.
Oh, Jesus.
Wounded
child. If you get hit, you can't do anything for a good 3 to 5 seconds. You know that, right?
Just got to sit there.
Sit there.
Oh, God
can't move. That's so infuriating in a game where you're sorry, nothing's happening now.
Nothing you can do.
I was like, what?
See, you'd like F-Zero on the 64. I don't know if they did this on other games, but F-Zero was a racing game, but it was insane. It was hard to stay on the track, and your vehicles took damage. So most of the time, you'd end up dying before you'd end up, unless you were really good at the game, you'd just die. You wouldn't ever finish the race. But Nintendo apparently had this evil streak because what they did was, and up to 4 people could play at the time. So, I owned the game. Of course, I whooped ass at it. But when people lost, they died because their vehicle took too much damage, they get the slot machine. And best I can tell, all the slot machine did was when they won it, my car blew up.
I like that.
So you'd be like, I'm out of the game. What can I do? Oh, I know. I'll just keep jamming on this button until he's out of the game, too.
That reminds me of the haiku you sent me the other day.
Oh, that was so good. I don't have my phone on me. Do you have it?
Oh, I got a phone.
So good.
I think you should read it.
Yeah, so I'm skimming the news as I do, and I have to admit, guys, the program's working. No, I'm still smoking. I'm not quite there yet. But the weaning myself of the news because it appalls me. That's really going quite well, actually. I still look at the news, but I'm not kidding when I say I'm 100 times better. I look way less. I read even less. But I was skimming the news as I do, and I saw a article labeled a haiku about Mario Kart. And I said, oh, well, that's interesting. Let's see if this is any good. And the title of it is a haiku about Mario Kart. So here goes. Are you kidding me? Who the fuck threw that blue shell? I will fuck you up.
Exactly. And if you ever play Mario Kart, you just got angry.
I couldn't agree more with that sentiment.
You're like, through the
I think I've literally recited that haiku, and I just didn't even know it was a haiku.
Yeah, you know it. Yeah, you already had that. Yeah, so there's a haiku.
Yeah,
we're all about the arts here.
I have to admit, though, I rolled at that. I sent that to you like immediately because I'm like, oh my god, that's entirely what it's like to play Mario Kart. Mm-hmm. Mario Kart is one of the few games I rage quit.
Yeah. We swear a lot when we play the game. Well, not as much as Unreal Tournament, but we swear a lot.
Unreal Tournament has made me jump way more than the horror games.
No. Good team. Where'd you come from?
So, playing anything else? If not, I'm going to move on.
No, that's it.
That's a lot. I mean, and once again, the problem remains, folks. Too many games, too little time.
Yeah, it's been actually a busy summer at work, so I haven't been playing much, just the weekends, really.
I'm pleased to say, you guys might remember about 10 months ago, I said I was entering this program at work that was going to require some stuff of me, and I'm not quite done with it, but we did our big finale presentation. My team did a great job. Everybody really did an awesome work. And I'll be honest, going into it, I didn't think we had a chance of winning. But based on the feedback we got, I'm not going to rule us out. I'll say that.
All right.
But either way, that makes a big difference. So, I'm going to be able to do these little things like my job again and have a life.
Oh, that'll be nice.
I'm going to try those things out, see how that works.
Yeah, I
know. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. So hopefully I have something resembling more free time, which I will, of course, waste in a variety of different digital ways.
Yeah, that's what... I don't know if it's wasting. It's, it's good for the brain, according to studies, to play video games. So yeah, we're accomplishing something.
Absolutely, yeah. My brain is just so big.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what have you been watching? You watch anything good? You're going to love...
I just realized we're both wearing the same shirt.
You're going to love... Oh, we forgot to talk about that we're twinsies.
Twinsies.
Because, once again, the birthday gifts, man, you're out of control.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Kevin got me a shirt. Actually got Mickles a shirt as well.
Yeah, because I forgot what size.
We're tutors everywhere, man.
We're tutors.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you like to toot too?
Exactly. Wouldn't you like to be a tutor too?
Wouldn't you like to be a tutor too? So what am I watching? So yeah, we start watching a show called Loki on Disney Plus.
And you liking it?
It's funny. It's the first season of Loki, because there's gonna be a second season of Loki. I loved.
Okay, good.
Owen Wilson killed it. Everyone killed it in it. It was just such a good sci-fi story.
Okay.
Not like sci-fi, like totally like nerd sci-fi, but more a sci-fi fantasy kind of thing. But still, it was cool. The guy who plays Loki, Tom Middleton, he's perfect Loki. Perfect Loki. And yeah, I think if you haven't watched it, it's worth a watch. It's worth a watch.
I find it fascinating, though, that you take Viking mythology and you use the word sci-fi.
Well, because
I'm not disputing it. I just...
Well, I think
Norse mythology.
It's not my fault that they take... Because they're the ones that turn into sci-fi because, they're... they teleport using, space magic and stuff like that.
Of course they do.
It's like sci-fi,
Space magic.
What they call it, the frost... I forget what they call it. But it feels sci-fi the way they do it because it's all in outer space.
I'm not disputing it. I just find the differences there interesting.
Yeah, I feel like the video game God of War was more grounded even though it had a lot more fans. It felt it was a video game, but it was a lot more grounded in the mythology because a lot of the things are the same. It has a Loki in there. This has a Loki, but this one's more about the magic and the, the thing is that the Loki is all about the timeline and all this stuff. So that just feels more sci-fi.
Okay.
It's a sci-fi story. If you really take it apart, it's more of a sci-fi story than a Viking fantasy. And that's how how they written. It was written, in the comic books back in the day.
Yeah, I'm not all that familiar with the Thor comic line.
Me either, but it was just pretty cool because, basically they're setting up for the new movies, and it's all about the multiverse, which I also find fascinating. Because the multiverse and the fact that, all these planes of existence are on top of each other, and scientists believe this is real too. So they add a little bit of realism and saying, hey, this is possible that, that every decision is being played out somewhere kind of thing.
Yeah. See, do you believe in that?
Yeah.
You do? You believe in the multiverse? I call bullshit on that.
Yeah, I believe
it. Just seems like to what end?
To what end?
So you mean do you believe in the perfect line then? Meaning all those multiverses, basically, out of all the trillions of right nows that are happening, there's one that's just the way it's supposed to be.
You just picked out the plot of Loki.
No, that he's maintaining the perfect line.
Not Loki, but that's the plot.
Yeah.
So I think it's an awesome show. So that's the actual plot.
Oh man, I love that I get to flex my nerd muscles on this show. Yeah, I know a thing or two about a multiverse.
Yeah. So no, that's the plot of the first season. Is somebody out there thinks there's a perfect timeline, and a lot of people, including Loki, does not agree with it. So I think it's I think it's fascinating. I like the way it played out. It was and there was some tearful moments in the last episode of the season. I kind of liked it.
Yeah, I don't think I believe in any of that because I don't think I believe in destiny per se. I don't think we're really here to do anything per se, and if we are, it's just the fact that we exist is it.
Well, I think the universe might be trying to figure itself out.
It's quite possible.
And, sometimes it's playing in multiple planes of existence while it tries to figure it out.
Complete non sequitur. Yeah. But I read this today, and I laughed out loud, and it's one of those things you can't argue with. The meteor, or the asteroid, I guess it would be a meteor, that led to the extinction of the dinosaurs was technically mankind's, or the greatest in the history of mankind, birds to stone ratio. It was one stone.
Yeah.
Killed a lot of birds.
Yeah, killed a lot of birds with one stone. That's true, because they were mostly birds. The dinosaurs were mostly birds. Even when they were on the ground, they were birds.
I'm sorry, that just popped into my brain, but it literally made me laugh out loud because
one stone.
Perspective truly is everything. And that was the greatest ratio of dead birds to a single stone we've ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
And then I've been watching a few movies. I've been into science fiction movies. So then one I was telling you earlier, a movie called Oxygen.
Yep.
Worth watching. It's one of those movies where there is a cast member of one.
Okay.
And for the entire movie. Nice. So, and you're like, oh yeah, what is this? Who thinks she is? Tom Hanks, and no volleyball in this one, and she held it together. It was a fascinating tale where this person was trapped in a freaking, she was in a sleep chamber.
Yeah.
For we don't know how long or why or where she was, and the final conclusion was like, that was pretty cool. Nice. That was pretty cool. Why was she in there?
Nice.
You find out. You find out how she got there, why she's there, and where they're going.
And you recommend this?
I recommend them. I recommend.
I will
Oxygen.
give it a try. I'm even going to write it down here.
Oxygen.
I will give another Kevin. I love me a good twist ending.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a twist. Just I don't know. I think it's a logical conclusion.
I like to be surprised.
Yeah. I was like. Yeah, I actually liked the movie. It was well done. I don't think it's I'm not sure. It might be a foreign film, but I'm not sure. It might be. And then I watched this movie on Netflix. It was Chaos something with Spider-Man, Tom Holland.
Okay.
And that movie was weird. It was Chaos. I forget what the name is. Chaos something, but it took place on a planet where there's no women because, well, they explain in the movie what happened, and an astronaut lands on this planet who's a girl. All the men, you can hear and see their thoughts.
Oh, that's problematic.
Yeah, because they're trying to, people are trying to put out their thoughts is like, oh, should I kill her? Or should I, or should I help her? And you're hearing that and seeing it. Like this weird chaos, mirror thing. And women don't have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's great.
it really annoys the men apparently. So
Gotcha.
it was I would say it was worth watching. Great movie, no, but it was like entertaining, you know.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause it was that movie, it won't shock you at the end. I mean, you can tell where it's going. You know, it's like, yeah, I knew it was going. But I thought it was interesting how they did it. And plus, I do like myself a young Spider-Man. I like Tom Holland.
Okay.
I like him. So it was a pretty good. I thought it was an okay movie, but Oxygen is a more of a thought-provoking, you know, serious flick. This one's more like a popcorn, you know.
Yeah, it's funny actually because what did we see recently? Maybe it's just Nobody, that movie.
Oh no, boy! I watched that twice already.
Some movies are just they're like I want to be like Nobody's a great example.
Yeah.
I went into it saying this is going to be great. I'm going to get to see Saul kick some ass for 2 hours. That should be entertaining. And you know what? It was.
Yep.
Was it a great movie? Hell no.
Yeah. No.
Do I recommend it? Kinda.
Yeah. If you want to see Christopher Lloyd just in a nursing home trick a couple of mafia guys to thinking he's sleeping, that's awesome.
Pretty awesome. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, exactly. If you like a cameo from Doc Brown and you like Saul,
Yeah.
it was a good show. But I mean, there's tons of movies like that where it's like pretty much every Schwarzenegger movie.
Yeah, but they take themselves so seriously. This one, you could tell he was like tongue in cheek.
Oh
like,
yeah, exactly.
I almost felt like he might have been making fun of those movies, you know.
Yeah.
You know, especially the one scene where he made his last stand. I don't want to spoil too much, but he was kind of making a stand with the mafia guy, and he was outside just crossing his fingers.
Yeah,
And you're
exactly.
like, what's he crossing his fingers for? Because he wants them to come after him.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. And he's like, yes.
Yep, exactly. When they hook, line, and sinker fall for his.
Yeah, full for his. He knew he was hoping. I don't know. It was weird. He really seemed. At first, you're like, why? Then he did it. Then you're like, does he like it? It was. I don't know.
It was a good movie though.
Yeah.
It was, but again, it's not like I'm not a changed man for it.
No.
But it's not that kind of movie either.
Yeah, there's movies that I think. Well, I think Dune is gonna be a far superior movie. I know you're worried about that movie, but I'm not worried about it.
I'm not worried. My expectations are it's going to suck royally. So if it does anything shy of that. But
I mean,
you
Lynch
made a great
didn't direct
argument.
this. What's that?
I like David Lynch too, because he's weird as fuck.
Yeah.
But you made a good argument before the show. The original Dune movie is a steaming pile of shit, and yet you love it, and it's absolutely.
Yep. I've seen the original one 20 times. I'll probably watch it again.
Yep, probably 20 more to be honest. It's terrible.
Yeah.
And, I love it.
Yeah. And so I think the new movie, as long as it doesn't, there's a couple really campy movies in the scenes in the original that if they don't have those and they don't do that stupid ending of the first movie, because the ending was totally not like the book.
Yeah.
If they just do a little more closer to the book, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they picked a great cast. I mean.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
They're trying.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna.
They threw some money at it. That's for sure.
Some money. I'm just sad that Toto won't be playing music on this one.
I just hope they paid the writers.
Yeah, I know.
That's all.
Yeah, right. Well, they did. His name is Frank Herbert.
Frank Herbert. Yeah, I know, right? Exactly.
I feel like he did a decent job writing that. Because it shouldn't. I looked it up, and that's one of the top-selling books of all time.
Yeah, because spoiler alert, that's going to be on both our lists. Because I mean, it's fucking Dune.
Yeah, and it's I actually read that book, believe it or not. I read it because of the movie. Because the movie came out in the 80s.
I'm glad. I'm glad that's the case because I believe I did the same thing too. Maybe not though. No, I don't think I did. Yeah. But somehow I tolerated the movie. Because typically, if you read the book first, you're typically going to hate the movie because the book was better. The book was always better.
The book is way better. So what happens is I watch the movie and I'm like, what did I watch?
Yeah. Right.
I mean, there's some things in the movie I really liked, and I want to know more.
Yeah, it seems like we came in the middle of the story. What the hell's going on
what's
here?
going on, and what's this whole weird speech in the beginning of the movie, and I was like, what's that all about? And I read it, I'm like, oh, that was a good story. It's a shame the movie wasn't as good as this.
I know, like the Emperor's daughter there is narrating it, and you have no fucking idea who she is, why she's important. They don't even illustrate it during the movie why she's important. And
in fact, she doesn't say word dick in the rest of the movie herself.
Pretty much, yeah, exactly.
Like,
and it's just crazy.
Was she that important?
Yeah, not in the movie she wasn't.
Yeah. So I looked at. I've seen a lot of making of, and that wasn't originally there when they made the movie. People were confused when they saw the movie.
Oh, sure.
So they put that in there way after the fact when the movie was done.
Okay.
Test audiences. What did I watch?
What the hell just happened?
Well, you know what they do back then? They put in narration if you don't know what you watched.
They do it now. Fucking goddamn! I wish nobody pointed that out to me, but it's funny. I can still consider this a new movie. It's 20 years old. Inception.
Oh, yeah.
Emily Page's character, or whatever his name is.
I know.
Now,
I know what you're talking about. Juno.
Yeah, Juno. Amen, brother.
She's Juno forever.
Amen, brother. So Juno's character is only there because people had no idea what this movie was about.
Yep.
Couldn't understand the concept.
Yeah.
And knowing that ruins, I'm
Yeah,
like, God damn, they're right.
She's the audience.
She doesn't need to be there. Like, all she's doing is, like, filling us in periodically.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, and she goes into a lot of detail, like, oh, now I understand the movie.
Yeah, it's just shy of it. And dumb audience members. This is what's happening right now.
Yeah. That was my problem with Tenet. Because I
haven't watched it yet, but I want to because people say you literally have to watch it twice just to figure out what the fuck just happened. And I'm
not
like,
that dumb.
I want to. I'm like, I'll take that Pepsi challenge.
Yeah, I'm fine. I understood it the first try. I'll tell you. So the problem that movie has the same problem as Inception. Although I thought Inception was a good movie.
I did too. I like Inception.
And Tenet is good like Inception, but they have a character in there that explains the movie to you.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that drives me crazy. You know who I love actually? You know him from as Bane. Whatever that dude's name is.
Tom.
That could be
not
Venom.
Holland. It's what's that?
It could be Venom.
Oh, it could Venom. Yeah, he's Venom too. Yeah.
But yeah, whoever that dude is, I love that dude.
Tom somebody. It's not Tom Holland. It's another Tom.
It's Tom York.
Yeah, Tom York.
It's Radiohead.
Yeah, Radiohead, but it's spelled Thome. Yeah, I think his first name is spelled weird.
Yeah, I can't remember. It may come to me, may not. But I love that guy, whoever he is.
Yeah, Radiohead guy.
Well, Radiohead I love too, but no, I mean the Bane there.
Oh, the Bane, yeah.
I don't know what you'd call him. I don't know what I'd call him. I guess I'd go with Bane just for ease.
Yeah, he's Bane, but you don't really couldn't even hear him in the whole movie.
It wasn't at all good. I mean, it's not that he was bad. It just wasn't my favorite.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's worth definitely if you liked Inception, you like Tenet because it's but it's more time travel-ish kind of movie, parallel time travel is, but. Yeah, you can fall in one watch.
I figured.
I have faith in you.
Yeah, I'm fairly good with that whole little multiple threads and weird shit.
Yeah, and I'm a jerk when I watch movies, and I'm like, because my wife is watching with me, and I go, see that guy right here? Yeah, that's him. 20 minutes from now, you don't notice it, but look in the left-hand corner of the screen, you can tell it's a 20-minute future version.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, you could tell.
Oh, Michaels and I do that to each other. We tell each other our theories, and
as it goes through.
Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're dead wrong.
Yeah, I know. I was right this time though. I'm like, yeah, that guy, and you're gonna see them play out that scene again, and he's gonna be doing that.
Actually, that's funny because we haven't watched an episode in ages, but we are still working on Elementary slowly but surely, chipping away at that.
Yeah, I forget. I'm chipping away at it too, and the show keeps getting better.
I'm so much better than Sherlock Holmes, though, because I'm telling you, an episode can start, and I'll be like, he's the murderer.
Well, like, of course, it's the famous guy.
And Michaels is like, yep, he's the murderer, because we've seen him in like 3 other shows. No idea what the story is yet, but I know I've seen that guy before.
He's the killer.
He's the murderer.
He's the killer. Yeah,
Just arrest him now.
I'm now in the part of the show where he has shaved his head.
Ooh.
Yeah, so he's like bald now.
Yet.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's bald now.
Nice.
So I like him. I like him a lot, but yeah, every now and then I do. I can't wait to get to the scene. I got to figure out what season it was because I've been so long. I'm like that's a Sean moment, and I've had more Sean moments since then. I'm like that's exactly what Sean would do in that situation. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait to those. But, right now it's been trumped, however, because honestly, I've just been, any free time I have, I've been trying to play games.
Yeah.
So I've effectively been watching the Gilmore Girls.
Oh, God.
In the sense that I'm playing games.
Yeah.
But you hear it. I mean, like, she turns it off, and I'm like, okay, what is Rory doing next? Or, God, what the hell's Lyle?
I don't know. Thank God.
Yeah, it's horrible. Show. Yeah, it's actually. I have to say, this is the worst part of it. I'm not even kidding. Having sat in the same room, so much crap over the years. This is by no means the worst of it. She was watching a show called Riverdale. I wanted to kill myself. It was so bad. And back in the day, she used to watch Anna Nicole, and I'm like, I used to say, you're part of the problem. If nobody watches this shit, it won't be on. That's fantastic. You two are part of the problem. And she'd be like, but it's a train wreck. And I'm like, I know, just look away.
I couldn't look away. I couldn't.
She couldn't either.
It was crazy. Back then, I used to watch that show, and I used to watch the Ozzy Osbourne show.
Okay, yeah.
The Osbournes.
The Osbournes, yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch Sean. Yeah, I just like, man, that's just awesome.
Yeah, it's just fantastic.
Yeah, no one understood a word he said.
Yep.
His whole family's like, what the hell? I had to watch that show.
Exactly, like Jeremiah the Bullfrog, Ozzy. But yeah, I thought you'd get a kick out of that. But I'll say it this way: I know far too much about the Gilmore Girls show than I'd ever wanted to.
Yeah, Charlize is watching a show that I've been osmosis as well called Rain on Netflix. and it's about Mary Queen of Scots.
Okay.
And the only thing true about the show, and they even admitted when they did the show, is it's about Mary's Queen of Scots.
That's fantastic.
That's the only thing that's true.
Everything else is
nothing else that's true.
That's great.
Nothing happened. There's storylines, people, everything else. Nothing happened the way it did. Nothing. People should have been dead already by now in real life.
See, I hate historical fiction to some degree because it's hard enough for me to remember the way it really went down.
Yeah, I had to look it up. I'm like, what's this all about, Mary? Oh yeah, she was banished by the time this happened. I don't know what's going on.
That's
this
awesome.
is not the way the real life happened. There's nothing real.
In the multiverse, it did.
Oh, you know what? I might start watching the show. This could have happened this way.
This could have.
This is another choice. A road not taken.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What did Yogi Berra once say? When you come to the fork of the road, take it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a real quote by this guy, Yogi Berra. I think he played baseball.
I know he coached it.
Yeah. I thought he kept forest fires down to it. No, that's Yogi Berra.
Exactly. It's one of the worst things.
What's this show about?
I used to listen to Stern all the time, and at one point, Smokey the Bear died. Like the actual bear, there was a bear, Smokey the Bear, and he died. And Howard asks, "Do you cremate him?"
Yeah, I know. It's like, wow. Yeah, it's true. It's like, what do you do with them after that? Yeah,
that's it. That's that work.
That's a valid question. He's like, no.
Exactly. And people are like, wow, that's the worst thing ever. And I'm like, yes, but
it's
kind of valid.
It's going to get dark because now I'm going to say put him in the waste bin because that's what you do in the forest.
Well, yeah. I mean,
clean up after yourself.
I would simply ask, who brought him in? Yeah. So they have to take him out. I mean,
oh, yeah. It's a carry-in, carry-out facility. It's state land, you know.
So there are the rules. I didn't make them.
That's true.
Oh, wow. Wow, apparently we need the show to get the demons out.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, this is what happens when I have the show for a few weeks. I got a lot of demons to work out.
That's awesome. So, you've been listening to anything worth mentioning to our lovely listeners?
Let's see. I've been listening to, well, I start with listening to some White Stripes stuff, and then Charlize was in the car and goes, I know this song. And it was something about some Friends title. I forget what the name of the song was. So I looked it up. I'm like, I don't know. I think the White Stripes wrote this. I'm like, no, it's like Bacharach, Bacon, 1972 wrote it, and Dionne Warwick and a bunch of other people sang this song. I'm
Burt
like,
Bacharach,
yeah, Burt Bacharach.
It's uber talented.
Uber talented. Yeah, so he wrote the song in 1962. But yeah, I've been listening to that, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I really haven't been listening to much radio.
I've been basically, you know what? I'll give them a shout out because me and their mother bought this album. Yeah. Band called Readyville. I've got a station on Pandora named after one of their songs, and their song is named "An El Camino Is a Car."
Oh, I know that channel.
It's just got all sorts of.
I thought you're just down to one song now. They're just in loop.
Yeah, I'm just shy of it. I may check out Spotify, actually. I think I might know how that works now. I've tried it like 3 times now and I fail, but I may give that another go. But that plays a lot of Modest Mouse, that station for me, and God damn it, do I love Modest Mouse. I have to say.
What I learned in Pandora, and you can't do it on a device. You have to go into the app either on the website on your phone, and you change the station you're listening to, and you tell it to use deeper cuts.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
and that makes the variety way bigger. Yep. As soon as you do that, even because it goes several notches down to like deep cuts. You know, music no one else has ever heard. They actually kind of list it kind of like that. It's like music that you might recognize, and the music you probably won't recognize. That's like this, and so I did it on one notch.
Well, you know me. I'm like, play these 15 songs.
Yeah, play.
No, just play them.
I actually do enjoy the discovery of moving it down one notch. So if you want to add more variety to the channels you listen to, just move it down one notch.
Believe it or not, I do like the active thumbs down, thumbs down, thumbs down, because for every, with me, 9 zillion thumbs down, there's that, oh my God, what is this? Thumbs up all the way. And that's so worth it to me.
Yeah, like suddenly I'm getting like Eminem on my channel that is like Muse, which is, like a, rock opera kind of music.
Yeah, Pandora, actually, I have to say the algorithm does break my heart on a regular basis because you know how I am with music. So, it happened the other day. I'm listening to my Jerry Garcia band station, which I literally, anything that's not Jerry or the Dead, I thumbs down on that station. I have another classic rock station that's just Jerry. And then, Hey Jude comes on. Like, what do you do?
You can't stop that song.
Yeah, you can't thumbs down it, that's for sure. But, I mean, if I had to on a few of them. But,
sacrilege.
I know, it breaks my heart. It really does.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, you don't belong on Jerry Station.
Yeah.
And that's actually, honestly, other than Modest Mouse, which I'm sure I've talked about before, I've been listening to Jerry Garcia Band more. Specifically Jerry Garcia Band. Like, really, a lot more of Jerry stuff. And it's just, I don't know what to say. If you're into the Dead, it's just freaking amazing stuff. It's just so good. I can't even put words to it. But if that's not your jam, I get it.
Yeah.
But if it is, and if you're a Deadhead and somehow you haven't listened to Jerry much, give it a go. I mean, seriously, he dude worked. He had a lot of side projects.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, before we get into books, I thought we'd do a couple shout-outs.
Okay.
So, well, first and foremost, thank you, Audrey. Yeah. So, thank you for your continued support here. And I'm sorry I'm going to be missing you. I hear you're coming to town as I leave it.
Tomorrow. Yeah. Tomorrow you'll be should be in town. Our patron saint of the show.
That's right. So I'm sorry, ships in the night. I'll say it that way. But I wanted to give a shout out to my cousins and my wife's cousins, Brian and Greg here. Great seeing you guys. It's been a long time. And, pandemic. Great seeing that whole side of the family.
Yeah.
Been too freaking long. But, I mean, honestly, people we see a couple times a year, like what I'd call close family.
Yeah.
And I know my story's not unique. We haven't seen them in years. It's or over a year. I mean, it's just not cool. I mean, these folks hadn't seen me since my surgery.
Oh.
I'll put it that way. So, I mean, it was really cool. Really cool to see you guys. So, glad you're doing well. And just wanted to make sure I gave them a shout out. But anybody you can think of, or anybody you want to give a shout out to, or anybody I missed?
I want to give a shout out to. I know some listeners that are the people that like to participate in the show, and they know who they are, which is Bill, it's Haley, it's the wife. Believe it or not, she participated a little bit with some notes for me.
Nice.
And again, my mom, Audrey.
Oh, that's how you came up with your list of books. Now we know.
Yeah, most of these books.
I don't know if you talked. Oh, I know you've talked about your wife before. His wife's sharp as a whip, man. I mean, smart as they come. Other than, their choice in spouses. That's
yeah, I know.
Might
have been just proximity.
But, I have to say, though, no, your wife is scary smart. She really is.
She is.
So, all right, well, how do you want to do this, buddy? Well, first on our list, we already talked about, but mine's primarily sci-fi because it's what I like to read, but I did include a few others. But I have to say, any good sci-fi list of books, it starts with Dune. If it doesn't, it's simply not a good sci-fi list.
Yeah, and I'm sad that there's classic sci-fi books like, Isaac Asimov stuff and Hyperion.
He's on my list.
And, I've never read those books. I know of them. I know about them. It's weird. I am a fan of Isaac Asimov without reading of his books.
That's great.
You can tell his influences are everywhere.
Absolutely.
So I know of him.
He created the word robot.
Yeah, I know.
How fucked up is that?
That is
Before
awesome.
him, there were no robots.
I know. That just wow, genius.
Like what?
So that's why I'm a fan of such awesome, influential writers like that. I'm sad. Neuromancer I never read. I'm kind of sad
Gibson,
about that.
Yeah. He's not on my list actually. Great book though. I enjoyed it a great deal. That's a nerd book. Like I think you got to be a nerd to like that. But yeah, you dig it.
I played the video game.
It's Matrix before the Matrix was.
It was because I played the video game, and the video game is one. It's awesome. It has a single Devo song in the beginning of it, which is awesome. But then, you had to go there and you had to buy potty parts and stuff. It was a cool game. I actually really enjoyed it. It was a very difficult game, but you can play in like a retro websites now. But I don't know. I liked it, and But yeah, they said plug me into the Matrix and stuff like that. So there's a lot of terms that was in the movie Matrix in there.
Yep.
So I was like, I think that Matrix stood on shoulders of other people. Definitely.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, without a doubt. Oh, how did I? You know what? I literally just thank you.
Missed another book.
I did.
Yeah.
I know it's We're gonna have to look this dude up. I'm not 100% of his name. It's Neil.
Armstrong.
I want to say it's Stevenson. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure.
So you're thinking about Louis Stevenson? He wrote the
no, dude's definitely a Neil.
Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Is that what you're talking about? I'm just messing with him.
That's oh my god. It was C.S. Lewis, right?
Yeah. I'm just messing with
what is that name?
Yeah. See, he read it.
Entirely. Actually, I'll be honest. I don't know. Maybe I did it once. I don't know if I've ever finished that whole series.
Oh, yeah.
Like, The Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe starts strong, and then I swear they get progressively weaker, and at some point I just tap out. I'm like,
it's
good enough.
So it sounds like the Hunger Games.
Aslan fucking eats them all. I
Yeah.
don't care. He's a lion. That's what you get.
That's the old tale. Tails hold his time.
But
Can't shake his stripes. I guess he doesn't have stripes.
okay, so do you want to alternate here? How do you wanna do this?
We could.
So I wonder. The one I just wrote down, I think it's Neil Stephenson. Is his dude's name? Sci-fi writer. Either way, it doesn't matter. The name of the book is Snow Crash. I've talked about it before. Highly recommend it. Matrix stole a shit ton from it. I would seriously say like a 6th or 7th grade reading level. The book is a hoot. It's just fun. The main character's name is Hero Protagonist.
Neil Stephenson.
Awesome, Neil Stephenson. I've read a few of his books actually, but Snow Crash by far is his best work that I've read, and thoroughly enjoy it. His other works I'm not crazy about. They're okay. They're not bad. It's just not Snow Crash. Snow Crash is pure freaking joy, front to back. It's just a fun book, easy read. Yep. So, all right. Let's see. I'm dying, buddy. I'm dying.
You don't want to know, but okay, I will tell you. So it's clear that I have started my reading library when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And books that did stick with me. And no, not every one of my books when I was a child were horror books, but a lot were. And I slowly graduated into sci-fi as I got older. But
yeah,
there's a couple books that I read as a child that were considered horror. This one's not one of those though, but it's by a horror author. Okay. The book is called Eyes of the Dragon.
Okay.
By Stephen King.
And was that written by just Stephen King? Yeah,
just Stephen King.
I think I might have read that one. I don't remember.
It's a fantasy book, and while fantasy twisted, it was a little bit twisted. Mm-hmm. It was called Eyes of the Dragon because the king always spied on his brother and other people through the eyes of a dragon on a wall.
Okay, yeah.
So there were some disturbing moments in there, but it was nowhere near as like bad or something that Stephen King couldn't show his kids someday. So it was a little bit twisted, but it was an interesting story and it was kind of unique. It didn't follow the same exact I read this in a fairy tale kind of feel. It was
I presume it ended with a spider.
Maybe no, it didn't. It was a spider. It actually had a good ending.
Good.
Spoiler, but the good guys win in this movie. But for the long time, they didn't. He was stuck in a tower and stuff. It was a jealous brother who was king and didn't like the other brother, stuff like that.
That happens.
Yeah, so I enjoyed the book as a child. I'm like, because it was really my first fantasy book I ever read.
That's great. We got kitties assisting us. I've got one on my foot too.
Yeah, I think that cap's gonna feel
it's entirely going
gravity.
On the floor. Yep.
Entirely. The lens cap is now on the floor.
Yeah, it's going to be a cat toy for the remainder of the show, apparently.
Yeah, that's awesome. She just watched it fall. So yes.
So Eyes of the Dragon, Stephen King.
Stephen King. Yep.
I may or may not have read that one. Well, here's one I believe you've read, but I'll be honest, I'm recommending the whole series. In fact, there's quite a few where I like series. I like multiple books. Not to mention I'm the slowest reader that ever was. So if I'm making that investment, man, I want something to sink my teeth into. I want to enjoy it for a while. Yep. I recommend all 4 books of the trilogy. That should give you a hint.
Star Wars?
I recommend all 4 books.
All 4 books of the trilogy.
That would be Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Douglas Adams. Because if you want to have 4 books in a trilogy, you need to be Douglas Adams.
There's a 5th book, actually.
There is, but that was added way later.
Yeah.
I have that as well. I know of what you speak, actually. Yep. Zaphoid does something.
Young Zaphoid plays it safe.
Yep. I know.
Boom.
I know of what you speak, and I've read it.
Yeah, I read it too.
Douglas Adams, we've talked about him before too. Hitchhiker's Guide is downright a hoot, and honestly, it will forever be special in my heart because it's the first time written word made me laugh out loud.
Yep.
And, I know I've talked about it before, but I literally can tell you today, it was the line where he's describing the Vogon construction vehicle, and the exact line was, it hung in the air kind of the way a brick doesn't.
Yeah.
My brain had never encountered such a thing.
Yeah, when I made this list too, which I also have that book on my a series on my actually, In my defense, it's just one book because I have one book called The Hitchhiker's Guide that has all the books in it.
Yeah, I have that as well. Sure.
But then I read a quote that to Charlize just yesterday, and I go, Sean likes this line.
Yeah.
So share it with you.
Absolutely.
It was the exact line.
Yep, it made me laugh because it's a fantastic line, and it's the first time I'd encountered such nonsense in the written word.
Yeah. Enjoyable. Yeah, that's a book I really got into, and yeah, actually, since the first version I had all the books in it.
Yeah.
So I read that cover to cover.
Oh, nice.
Believe it or not, with my radio reading, that book I just read cover to cover right away as soon as I could.
I actually
I tore through it.
I had to read the first one as part of like a schoolwork thing.
Oh.
And
we didn't have to. Yeah.
I actually think I was that nerd kid that all the shit worked on because I remember two events regarding books. One is I think you only had to read the first book.
Yep.
And I'm like, what? But there's more books.
Yeah.
So of course I read them all. You know?
Yeah.
The other thing comes to mind in 5th grade we had to read Fahrenheit 451.
Yep.
And the teacher gave us this assignment that he's like, okay, and read up to this chapter and then stop.
Yeah.
And the next day in class, he's like, okay, who read their work? And everybody raised their hand. And he said, who read further? And I raised my hand. And I looked around the room. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? They left on a cliffhanger. Like, how did you even sleep?
Yeah.
Like, she just lit a match, basically,
Yeah.
in a room full of combustible material.
Well, that's ironic.
And it's, and it's just, I'm like, how did you people sleep? Like, what?
Yeah.
Were you reading the same shit I was?
I know. It's like Cliff Notes only, I guess.
So, anywho. So, Hitchhikers, you had that as well.
I had that as well.
Props. Sorry for stealing all yours. Let me just make absolutely certain. No, all the others on my list, I do not believe you've read.
Okay, so my next one is Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. Fahrenheit 451.
Oh, I swear to God, I didn't see that.
I don't even know why I'm even bothering, really, with my list. The Adventures of Guy Montag really got to me when I was a kid. Blah, blah, blah,
It was a great book. I mean, in all seriousness, it was a great book. Like I said, I kept reading. I was
Fine.
the nerd in class.
Okay, I'll change it to Martian Chronicles. That was a good book, too.
That's false. I know of what you speak. I did not read that.
Oh, okay. So The Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury.
Awesome.
I read that as well.
I really don't think I'm going to fuck up any more of your list.
We'll see. Okay, can I go one just in case it
Absolutely.
might mess up yours?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to read this one.
That's going to happen.
Okay, because I'm running out of things. The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien.
I've heard of that.
Okay.
No, I've definitely read that book numerous times.
I have not read Lord of the Rings.
I'm not either.
Yeah, because I hear a lot about it, and it seems like it's a difficult read.
Okay.
They say it's more like a history book, so it doesn't flow the same way as the
I
Hobbit
gotcha.
story does. So eventually I will read it, but I know it's going to be a difficult read.
Okay.
So, but I will hit it. But I love the movies.
Props to Tolkien, but I'm like, whatever. It's
Yeah.
all good.
I like that stuff, but
I'll give you a weekend every now and again when we'll watch all 3 of the extended ones. That's as good as we're getting, buddy.
but the book, The Hobbit, was fun to read.
Oh,
it was
phenomenal story, yeah.
It was a fun read. I
Absolutely.
really did enjoy it. I mean, it really is a younger person, made for a younger person when it came out. Like,
I took to go back and watch the 70s animated.
I have a copy of it.
They sing all the time.
They
It's
do.
a fucking musical.
It's awesome.
I was like, oh my Lord.
I also have the animated version of the Lord of the Rings, which is easier to watch because it's only one little movie.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah,
They walk faster.
They walk faster, yeah. But yeah, there's some. I don't know. They're cute, and yeah, they sing a lot in the.
They were the
movie.
shit in the day. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember being super excited whenever that came out.
Yeah.
That was like an annual thing.
Yeah,
Almost.
Rankin and Bass.
Oh, was it really Rankin Bass?
Yeah.
Oh, they did all the
Rudolph,
Christmas
yeah.
movies that fucked us up for all the time. Love
Yeah,
those
same
guys.
guy. Yeah, I know they did fuck us up. But
Oh,
yeah,
they
same
were
guy.
like fucking Grimm. They were like the Brothers Grimm, man. They were.
Yep.
Santa Claus was a fucking douche in Rudolph. He really was
Yeah,
a
I know.
douchebag.
Yeah, it's like, oh, your nose is bright. Now
Oh,
you're
yeah.
not. Oh yeah. Oh,
You
make
suck.
up for everything I did. Yeah, I'll be stabbing him in his sleep. Yeah.
It just.
Sorry, it got dark.
Douchebag Santa.
I hate Santa.
I do love Rankin Bass though, even though they've ruined us all.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I had a book on here. I don't have much left after you. Okay, I might have another one.
You can just keep on keeping on if you want.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm loving your list.
My list. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if this crosses. So this is called The Hellbound Heart.
The Hellbound Heart, Clive Barker.
Clive Barker. So
know.
it was the book that he actually reissued again with a different title called Hellraiser.
Hellraiser.
Same book, but I read it before it was a movie.
That's cool.
So
Yeah, Clive Barker's phenomenal. Clive Barker got me off Stephen King. I used to read horror. I read Stephen King, and I thought that was as good as it got. And then I read Clive Barker, and I never read Stephen King again.
well, Haley on her list. I'm not going to go through her whole list yet, unless we got time. But Haley gave me a list, and she has a Clive Barker on her list too, called Abarat by Clive Barker.
Oh, I don't know if I've read that.
And apparently, it's a fantasy.
Okay.
It's not, yeah. And
he wrote a few, actually.
Yeah, he wrote, and she loved that. I'm like, you like Clive Barker? I'm like, doesn't that scare you? I'm like, it's not a horror.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
I personally, I mean, I haven't read it in a long time, but I enjoyed The Great and Secret Show, and I can't remember. There was a second book that came out years later, and I don't remember the name of that. I also enjoyed a book called Weave World by him. And last but not least, I liked he had a book of short stories, I want to say, called Cabal.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Cabal, the story Cabal became the movie Nightbreed.
Oh, vampires.
It wasn't. It was monsters, basically.
Yeah,
but the monsters were persecuted by humans because humans are douchebags and so on and so forth.
Humans are. Yeah.
We're the monsters. Is the gist.
Let's see what I have. Oh, I do have another Stephen King book on here called Misery. Did not end with a spider. And
I didn't actually read that, but props to Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates made the movie, but the book. So I read the book before the movie came out. So the movie was very good, but there's details in the book that the movie she made everything she did in the movie was frightening.
Yeah.
But in the book, it was way more frightening.
I believe it.
I mean, in the book, she killed the cop with a lawnmower.
Nice.
Instead of a shotgun, like in the movie. She was way more evil.
How could you do that to Sonny?
And hobbling in the book is not breaking your leg.
Yeah.
It is cutting the foot off.
Nice.
So that was hobbling. So it was a way more graphic. So it scared the crap out of me, that book. It did.
I believe it.
So the movie, I didn't think it was as scary, but Kathy really sold that.
Just bravo.
Oh, yeah.
What an amazing work she did.
Poor Sonny.
Poor Sonny. Yeah.
Sonny.
I know I've mentioned this too before, but the meme that says Sonny would still be alive today if he had Easy Pass.
That's true.
He was funny, man.
Godfather, man. Yeah, he was stuck on the toll booth. I don't really get it because that toll booth is like there was no cars around.
None of it made sense. Even as a kid, I'm like, fucking get out of there, Sonny. What are you doing?
Yeah. The funny is, it's a great movie. Godfather,
phenomenal,
great movie. But someday go watch it, and Sonny gets in a fight. He starts beating up the guy that beats up his sister.
Doesn't come near.
It does. Yeah, the fist. It's like it wasn't even like a foot away. It was like 3 feet away.
I'm telling you, it's what do they call that? The Mandela effect, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I've gone back, and he doesn't curse, but in my mind, I hear James Caan clearly say, "You touch my sister again, I'll fucking kill you."
Yeah.
He does not say fucking, but I hear him clearly say, "I'll fucking kill you."
Jeez. Such a good movie. And there's so many tidbits of the movie that I've enjoyed over the years. Like, for example, that cat that Marlon Brando was petting.
Yeah,
it just showed up. It just showed up. Yeah. And no one was going to say, that's not in the scene.
You don't say that to the guy.
No, you don't say that to him. No. You're sent, what are you, your grocery clerk, sent by a grocery clerk. What that line is scene he did in Apocalypse Now. You just some random things they just record him saying.
Oh, I have no idea. I've seen Apocalypse Now, but it was 100 years ago.
Marlon Brando just said some random stuff because he didn't care about the script.
Nice.
And he goes, "You're just sent by a grocery clerk," or some weird line that he was doing. He's just like, "What are you even talking about?"
That's awesome.
But anyways, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, we were talking about Misery.
What were we talking? We just drew the line from Misery to Godfather. Nobody even knew that line was there.
Yeah, I know. Go figure. Well, because Sonny was in it. There is a connection. I might have one book in here you never heard of. The Moat in God's Eye by Larry Niven and Jerry Pournelle.
Nope.
And it's about a rock that hits the earth.
Okay.
And destroys all humanity. And
happens.
this is survivors.
Okay.
That's what the story is.
So it kills almost all humanity.
Yep. And they basically turn into like savages, the human race.
All right. So Lord of the Flies.
Basically, yeah. Everyone wants to kill each other.
Sounds about right.
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
I've never read a Harry Potter. Good on you.
The reason why I have the first one on there is, yes, you go watch the movies and they're very like, they progressively get more crazy and weird and silly and off. But the first book, before J.K. Rowling lost her mind.
I was going to get into her in a second.
Yeah, she definitely lost her mind. It's clear. But the first book, before she wrote it before she was crazy famous, it was a good read. It was a really good read. I enjoyed it.
J.K. Rowling, Rags to Riches. How do you not love that story? Story never gets old.
Yeah.
Only seems to employ British folks in her movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
I give you props for that, believe it or not. I, too, am a nationalist.
Yeah.
Now is a billionaire, I believe. It's just stupid sum of money. I think that it's measured in a B. Stupid sum of money.
Yeah.
Never going to be destitute again.
Yeah.
You'll never live on Diagon Alley.
Yeah.
Can't shut her mouth. Says all sorts of mean, hateful shit.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, what the fuck?
Yeah. So she was living a terrible life, and now she's a bag of shit.
Pretty much. Like, really, I expect better, J.K. Rowling. I really do. Just, I mean, I don't care. I guess, I don't mean to offend people when I say this, but I don't care what your God thinks. I really don't give a flying fuck what your God thinks, because my God thinks your God's a dick.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't know what to tell you. So my God doesn't bother you. Please don't bother me. Yeah. And J.K. Rowling, if you don't agree with people's gender choices, this, that, and the other, awesome. Don't agree with it. Yeah. Keep it to your fucking self.
Yeah.
Why you gotta be mean about it?
Yeah, why do you have to tweet about it?
Exactly. They don't give a flying fuck what you think any more than I do.
That's a shame because the story was it reached a lot of people and people felt connected to it, and
people love Harry Potter.
Yeah, and the people that she's like making fun of probably loved it,
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, well, that's the thing though, because I mean, her views get vicariously passed on to her characters. Yeah. So basically, Harry Potter, appreciates Muggles but can't stand the trans community.
Yeah, okay.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, sometimes I think when some characters are created, then they don't belong to them anymore. It belongs to us. Harry Potter's our guy. You can't make him weird now.
I got you. I like that. I appreciate that, actually. And I hope you're right, because, Harry deserves better. And frankly, it's bad enough you think like that you're so small-minded. But I see to what end? Why are you raising that shit?
Yeah.
You're just being mean and spiteful for the sake of it, being hurtful for the sake of it. And don't tell me that your God doesn't agree, because, again, I refer to Exhibit A.
Yep.
Don't care about your God. And not to mention, I'd imagine when you do finally meet your God, he's going to be like, who the fuck do you think you are speaking for me?
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, we digress.
Well, I'm almost done with my list now.
Yeah,
since you got, let's see, Dune I already had, so you already had. And yes, I loved the book and then the crappy movie.
You should read the other ones, by the way. Actually, I like it. And believe it or not, Matrix took a bit from that as well. I was surprised they blinded, because that's the first thing they do in the spoiler. Second Dune book, first thing they do is blind Kyle MacLachlan.
Well, I heard in I heard in Matrix 4 that's coming out soon that they gave him glasses, so he's back. He can see again.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're both gonna watch that piece of shit.
I know,
but it's a piece of shit.
I do like Matrix. And okay, what do I got left? Oh, Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell.
You read that?
I read it cover to cover before the movie came out.
It had to be better than the movie.
The movie it made Dune look like a good movie.
Yeah, that movie sucked so terribly bad that I wanted to die.
Yeah, the sad part is there's a couple of movies that came out that really disappointed me after reading the book, and that was like, man, the book was so good. But when you read the book, you read it and like, yeah, they're not making a movie out of this. It's impossible.
Okay, yeah.
As it turns out, it's impossible.
Yeah, okay.
Because the book is written like a story within a story. So the first third of the book is like somebody going on an adventure and they found a book on a ship, and they start reading the ship and the logs.
Okay,
and they start reading the logs, and then it starts another story, and it gets deep, and then it goes deeper, but then it slowly folds back out, and it turns out you're in the future.
Nice.
And it was a fascinating read. I'm not sure. So everything that I've read in the book, and they made the movie, and I'm like, none of this matches what I read.
Yeah.
None of it. There's some plot lines that kind of like reminiscent of the book. Man, it was such a good book. I have the book, and I'm like, man, this is a great book. And it was.
I believe it.
The first section was a little harder to read, but then all of a sudden you're like, after you get the second part of the book, you're like, oh, this is fascinating. Now you're seeing it from this point of view. And it's deeper in its notes, and then they find some, edge. I don't know.
I could tell from the movie, even though I thought it was a steaming pile, I could tell that there was a good story behind it.
Yeah, it was a good story. And then when I watched the movie, I'm like, this is not even because they almost told the movie in chronological order, and I know it makes sense, and that's why you have to do a movie. But the book, it isn't.
Yeah.
It isn't kind of in a chronological order, but then it goes backwards for the second half of the book.
You can do things in books you can't do in movies.
Yeah, so some movies I would say, I think Dune could be made into a movie. I think it can be, even though it's a big movie. But this book, no. It was a wasted attempt. poor Tom Hanks. He's wonderful, but he shouldn't have been in that movie. He
Well,
was actually terrible in it.
Yeah, exactly. We love Tom Hanks, who doesn't? But I mean, everybody has a Garfield.
Yeah, well, I kind of like that movie.
Actually, I never watched it, to be honest.
I actually like that movie. But yeah, that's what Bill Murray said. Do we have any regrets? Garfield.
Yeah.
Of course, that was in Zombieland.
Yeah.
When he said that. So yes, I recommend that book. I recommend whatever you do, never see the movie because I might ruin the book for you.
Okay.
Because the movie was so bad.
See, that's crazy though. It's a testament to the fact that you do in fact know how to read, because that's not like what I'd call an easy read.
No, it was not an easy read, but I don't know. I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed the book.
Well, good.
So I recommend that book wholeheartedly. Just avoid the movie.
Who wrote that?
That was David Mitchell.
Okay.
And I think he wrote other things, but I think this was his most well-received book.
Okay.
That he's ever done.
Well, look at you.
I think that's my list.
Well, that's quite the
10
list.
books, 3 of which you stole.
Nice.
Well, including Hitchhiker's Guide. I didn't think you were going to have that one.
I have 10. I might have more than that even. Well, okay, Dan Simmons, The Hyperion Cantos.
Yeah, that's
4
the
books.
one I want to read.
They're some of my favorite. I will admit it does not end as strong as it starts. It just... The 4th book is probably the weakest of the series, in my opinion, and even that, still, it's all special to me. It's just an amazing story. I really wish Hollywood would pick this up and not fuck it up.
Yeah, then you put HBO.
I think it should be an HBO miniseries myself. And speaking of which, I'd just like to make a sub-note. At one point I would have told you George R. R. Martin was my favorite author. And fuck George R. R. Martin is what I've decided. It took me some time. I don't even think I'm going to finish Game of Thrones at this point. I'm so pissed at that dude. Because he just fucked up the story with that show. And there was no need to do it.
Yeah, but was it his fault, or did HBO just take too much control from him?
His fault.
His fault. Yeah.
Who wrote the story? Whose story was it? Whose baby was it to protect?
But I felt like we got the Cliff Notes version of a story the last season.
I think that the thing went completely off the rails, but it's his baby to protect.
Yeah.
I blame him.
Yep.
So you can't cry on the victim of HBO. They were throwing so much money at me.
Yeah, I know.
So much money at me. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd do it, but I'm not a George R. R. Martin. I can't write that. Yeah. So it's a shame though, because I was once so loyal to him. I literally wrote this man. Not even kidding. Because I was waiting for the next book. That's how diehard I was.
Yeah.
And now it's like he was in that fucking bus in Sweden.
Yeah.
He was right there next to Metallica.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just a bummer.
Yeah, and there was the deleted scene with Aspire at the end, just so you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's just fuck that guy. Which I can't think of it, but I think they're coming out with a Wheel of Time series. Whoever that guy is.
Robert Jordan?
Wow, look at you, Robert Jordan.
All right. That's the other 50 cents.
Yeah, fuck that guy too, by the way.
Didn't he die before he finished?
He died before he finished writing the series, and it's like, oh, Sean, you're such a douchebag. The guy died. I'm sure he's not happy about it. Yeah, he didn't need to write a fucking prequel first. He could have finished the 15, 16-book series. Could have finished that.
Didn't his son or somebody finish it?
No, Brandon Sanderson, I want to say is the name.
Okay.
There's one for you. Dude wrote like Conan or something. And,
know,
props to this dude. He had to come in, probably pick up a bunch of napkins and random little pieces of paper and somehow cobble together a story that fell in line with everything that came before, and he did it. But yeah, you don't write a prequel until you finish your 15, 16-book series, and then you can die on your own time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
bastard.
It wasn't all that great either, to be honest with you. Aside from that, I wasn't that crazy about it. It's just I read it because 75% of the first book, I'm like, this piece of shit, I'm finishing this book, never touching it again. Then there's the hook, and I'm like, oh. And then I'm like 6 books in before I look up again. And then I'm like, well, now I'm committed.
Yeah. Pot committed, the gambler said.
Exactly, exactly. I'm pot committed, and now I got to keep writing it out. But yeah, Dan Simmons, The Hyperion Cantos is 4 books. They're seriously they are top 5 books of all time for me. I mean, I love this guy. Love the guy so much, I read 2 other books by him, Olympias and Iliad? Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to lie to you. They're gigantic books. And the first one, I got to say at least 40% of it was pure drudgery. I mean, it's actually historical fiction. It's talking about the Greek-Athens War, and it is a painful read.
Jeez.
And these books, I want to say, are like 800 pages a piece. They're freaking gigantic. And I'm not kidding. You get past that 40% mark, and next thing you know, you're done with the second book, and you're like, well, I can't believe it ended so soon.
Oh,
Like, I want to keep reading. It was phenomenal. It was really good.
whenever I see or hear anybody speak about the Wheel of Time, the books called Discworld seem to be in the same conversation.
Okay, Terry Pratchett.
Yeah.
I've read Terry Pratchett.
Yeah.
I want to die. I know Terry Pratchett appeals to some people. I'm not one of those people.
The only thing I really know about it is the planet is shaped like I forget.
Yeah, exactly. It's awesome.
Disc.
One of my favorite authors of all time, I'd have to say, actually, is a guy, a relatively new author by the name of Daniel Suarez. I'm rereading a book of his right now called Demon, is what it's called, basically. You'd like it. I recommend it highly to you, actually, because it's nerdy as hell.
I like nerdy books.
You would love this dude for probably the same reason I do. He was a network engineer. Became an author. Speaks like a network engineer. He writes like a network engineer.
How you spell Demon in that?
It's Daemon. So it's the male demon.
Yeah, but in Linux, that's the services are daemons.
Yep.
So
yeah, that's why I pronounced it weird. I'm like, is it demon? I'm just gonna go with demon. I don't know if it's daemon or
Yeah, I've heard both ways, but but I think you can say demon.
I'm going with demon, but yeah, you would.
Yeah.
You'd love it.
That's awesome.
I'm trying to think of what I'll tell you the story. It's. I don't even want to get into it. I don't want to spoil anything, but I've read literally all of Daniel Suarez's books, and yes, some I like more than others. I like them all. Not even kidding. I enjoy this dude. He's just a good author. So yeah, if you're looking for a good author, he's one of my favorites. Okay, next book. Author by the name of Blake Crouch. I think I've actually read a few of his things, but Dark Matters is the book, and you bought it for me, buddy.
Oh.
And then I bought it.
Because you wanted
you bought
that
me a
collection.
Book.
Yeah,
you bought me a book.
Oh, was that a book or the collection?
No, you bought me the book, and I've moved digital, folks. I read in bed with the lights off. I can't read real books anymore. So after like a year of having this book my friend bought me, I'm like, oh, I better read this book. So I just bought the book on my Kindle and I read it there. I have to say, he's not my favorite author by any measure. Oh, and I guarantee I read the Wayward Pine series by him, which I actually enjoyed a great deal. The TV series was for season 1. It was okay, maybe I'll give it. Season 2 was complete shit, and everyone knew it. I swear that people were killing themselves on the show. They're like, "Oh, I'm dying." They're like, "No one even has a gun." They're like, "I don't care. I'm dying. Get me off this show." Yeah. But this guy, this Dark Matters book was. I would describe it as almost cheesy, cliche, and predictable in the sense that it was a sci-fi tale, but it's one we've all heard 1,000 times before, and I knew exactly where this was going, and okay, let's just read to the part that we all know is coming, and holy shit, never saw that coming. And I don't say that very often.
Yeah.
Like, I puzzle shit out, you know?
Yeah.
This guy took an old tried and true tale, and in lieu of the ending we all know and come to expect, he threw some shit in there where I'm like, whoa, I see what you did there. Yeah. Did not in a trillion years see that coming. And so good, because those moments are magical, man. I remember like the chills running down my spine as I read it, because I'm like, whoa.
So the Bears ate Goldilocks.
Yeah, just did not see that shit coming. I personally like the TV series, but trilogy of books by a man named Richard Morgan, Altered Carbon series.
Oh, I have not seen those.
You haven't seen the TV series? Oh, it's good. The books I like the books better, of course. Surprise, surprise. I've not read the latest actually, but I've been reading a series by a man called Pierce Brown, and it's the Red Rising series. Red Rising being the first in the series. I enjoyed the book. I'd almost call him Space Harry Potter in the sense that it's way more violent than that, but it's, I don't know, it's kind of a coming-of-age tale. But I'm curious to see where they're going with the story, but they've got their own universe. Like, it does a good job of crafting this universe that you can believe with these different political factions, and, you understand everyone's motives, and you see their sides of it, and it does a great job of development. And to me, that's at the end of the day, a good story is I'm going to give a shit about the characters, and that's what a good author is going to do. So yeah, the Red Rising series. Okay, 3 books, freaking loved them, devoured them. I read these so quickly. Dennis E. Taylor is the author, and the first book in the series is We Are Legion, We Are Bob. And it is a unique sci-fi story that is just absolutely fantastic. And I'm not kidding. They go so quick. They're such easy reads because it's just such a fun story. And I'm trying to think of what I can tell you without ruining anything. Well, basically, Bob becomes an AI.
Yep.
Through just a mysterious, just this awkward set of circumstances. And so basically, he gets turned on one day, and it's hundreds of years in what would be his future.
Yeah.
And he ends up out in space as a space station type deal, and he ends up just propagating. So he has the means to basically make other devices with new AIs.
That's what Legion is.
Who in turn are Bob, because they're copies of Bob. And it goes from there. And, by the end of the series, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of Bobs. Okay, that's going to be a problem. We got kitties helping with the cables.
Yeah.
But yeah, fantastic series. So Dennis E. Taylor, We Are Legion, We Are Bob. I'm not even kidding, guys. I highly recommend it. Okay, I've only got 3 more. So this is, I think, 7 or 8 books. I recommend the Asimov Foundation series highly, which is going to be coming out on HBO, mind you.
Oh.
But here's the rub, folks. Asimov, freaking genius, clearly. I highly recommend you go online and you look up, just Google, what order should I read the Foundation series in? Because it's not at all the order it was written in. It's not even the order that Asimov recommends. Online you can, and I did this, you can find the order in which to read the books, and you really should. Because when you read them in this specific order, not only does everything make sense, because you have the backstory at the times you need it, you actually know who everyone is way early on, and it makes everything you're reading, there's no longer, why the fuck am I reading this? Because the first time I started reading Foundation, I gave up, because I was reading about this mathematician that basically had the job of a mathematician, and he hated his life because it was boring, because he was a mathematician. And I was reading a book about this guy's life, and I hated my life because it was fucking boring.
Yeah, about a mathematician.
Yeah, so but I'll say it this way: when I read them in the right order, oh my god, it just went like water. It was such a good series. So yeah, I should read more Asimov. Actually, genius.
So you need to lay the foundation before
That's awesome. There you go. Got to get the order. All right. Well, my next 2, actually, I guess I wouldn't call those were all sci-fi because I'm a fan of sci-fi. If that's not clear. I Am Legend is a short story by Richard Matheson.
Yep.
It's phenomenal. That movie is such a steaming pile of crap.
I disagree.
I hate
Vincent
that movie.
Price did an excellent job.
The original. Yeah, I never actually watched that version, and that I might like because they ruined the story. Yep. Like, all they had to do was tell a story. That's all they had to do.
Yep.
It's a short story. It wasn't even a hard story to tell. Just tell the story. And they fucked it up.
Yeah, I think they say the Vincent Price version is the most faithful, and I think the Charlton Heston was even less faithful. That's why they changed the name.
That's great. Yeah.
Omega Man, I believe the Heston
is that
the
Heston one? I've
yeah,
seen
it has
bits of it.
Omega Man. So, but it's based on that story loosely.
Great story.
Yeah.
Once again, it's just I actually saw where they're going with that, but it was one of those. Actually, you ever seen the movie True Romance? Christian Slater. I can't remember who the girl was.
No.
I actually recommend that movie, but that one was. Every once in a while, I see where it's going, and I'm like, oh, is this where they're going? And I start getting excited, and then it starts to go there, and I'm like, oh my god, this is where it's going. And True Romance was one of those. I'm like, oh my god, this is what's going to happen, and sure enough, it happened, and I'm like delighted when it happens. So I Am Legend was kind of like that, where I'm like, oh my god, I think I know where this is going. Oh, and I was like, oh crap.
Well, I think 2 things would have made the movie better, because I think he actually did a good job in the role.
I love Big Willie.
Yeah, he did a great job. 1, don't kill the dog.
You never kill the dog.
You never kill the dog. And 2, if they had enough courage, they would have used the original ending they had shot and not the one that was Hollywood.
They shouldn't have done any of those. No, even that alternate ending sucks. They should have done the ending that's in the fucking book.
In the book,
is what they should have done.
Yep.
They should have stuck to the story. And
it was so close too.
The story is so good.
You saw it there because you can see the personality of the people that are, the zombies that are evil.
And they didn't.
And they didn't have courage.
Yeah.
To be. They decided to make a Hollywood version.
And it's lame as shit. And now we got this. I don't know how this show has not ended in a broken camera yet.
No, this cat's on the curtains. Okay, sorry.
Last one is This is a 6-book series.
Yeah.
And
is it a trilogy still?
That's right.
You always fool me that way.
You can only have a 4-book trilogy if you're Douglas Adams.
Yeah.
This camera's literally shaking because of my cat. I'm just waiting for her to knock it over. Anyway, I've read this series more than once. I recommend it. It's got an anti-hero. Like, the hero in the book isn't a hero. In fact, he's a villain. He's kind of a nasty bastard. And he doesn't do anything because he doesn't believe it's happening. So basically, it's a fantasy book. And typical fantasy book, guy wakes up in fantasy land. Only the dude's basically walking around Oz the whole time calling bullshit. This video is going to suck as my kitty literally wiggles the camera. It's moving, too. Yeah, she's just moved the camera.
Actually, it's better.
We better wrap it quickly. But the series I'm talking about is an author by the name of Stephen R. Donaldson. And it's the Thomas Covenant series. It is the first book of which is Lord Fowl's Bane. I love that series. And it's just, again, it's not what I'd call a happy series. It's dark. It's dark as fuck. But it's really well written. Whoa. And there we go, folks.
A few moments later.
A little while later.
I'm thinking of firing the kitty production crew, but it's all we can afford, folks. I don't know what to tell you.
You know what I'm going to do, just to be clear, so you know what's going to happen when I post this video? I'm going to leave that in there.
Oh, absolutely.
The camera just went...
This is for all of us, folks.
Yeah.
And the kitties are included in that. So that was student cinematographer Daphne.
Yes. Thank you. You're fired.
Yep. Anyway, so Lord Fowl's Bane is where we ended there, but that's pretty much it. Those are my recommendations. I'm sure there's more. I'm sure I've forgotten a ton, but I hope. Hope somebody got between Kevin and my listener. I hope somebody found something new to read, and I hope you enjoy the active reading. It's fundamental, I've been told.
Yeah, if you want to know, I could post it on the website too. The other book recommendations by family and friends. I'll post that as well, so everyone can see those.
That's cool. So, yeah. All right, if you want to go through them, you can. It's up to you.
It's a lot.
Okay, then Okay, then we'll save it for another day. I don't even know what we're at in time, but
hour and a half.
Okay, that's not too bad. But,
no, for us, we're early.
Yeah, that's not bad, actually. But if you stuck with us this long, God bless you.
Holy
crap.
Thank you.
But, that said, I think we should probably land our plane.
Well, before we land the plane, something just, what are you watching? I forgot that I've been watching another show called Kevin Can Himself.
I love that you're on a show with me who basically says, fuck this, fuck that. I'm like Samuel L. Jackson.
It's technically not saying the word fuck. It's and they
I got you.
Anyways, there's one more episode left this season, worth watching. I believe I told you about, but for the listeners who haven't heard about the show on AMC, it's the daughter that was in Schitt's Creek, genius show. And
phenomenal.
And it's shot in when you first watch it, you're like, oh, it's a sitcom. Haha, there's a laugh track and audience, filmed for a live audience. And her husband, Kevin, who's a Dickfer.
I know what a Dickfer.
To pee with, silly. Spies like us someday. Anyway, Charlize actually does that joke, not because I said it to her so much. She knows the punchline.
That's great.
And she sets it up for me. She's a lovely girl. She purposely sets it up for me so I can say it.
So you can feel all good about yourself. That is a loving wife.
Yes, that is a loving wife. So, anyways, so her husband is definitely a jerk, and he deserves to get just beaten. And so she goes out in the kitchen, and they hired a whole different camera crew because it looks like Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
It's darker, it's more realistic lighting, and it's kind of like sad and moving, and you feel for this woman, Then she's
not
like,
for too much longer.
She pulls herself together. She goes back out to the sitcom world, and you're like, Yeah, I'm not sure I'm supposed to be laughing with this laugh track anymore.
Okay, yeah. So it's twisted.
It's twisted.
The kiddies are working the camera again.
They're working the camera.
Your time is limited.
Yeah, my time is limited. So I do recommend that show wholeheartedly.
Okay.
I've
been living Kevin Go fuck himself.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like every time I leave, it's like all fun and games. I leave the room and go, that bastard.
I never had the courtesy to wait till for you to leave.
That's a valid point. Yeah.
Never once.
Neither does her wife. But if you're going to watch a show and you're looking for, right now it's only like 8 episodes for the first season.
Yeah.
So it's a quick watch, but I recommend it because it's twisted.
Maybe when I'm done binging the Gilmore Girls, I don't want to make
Gilmore
any
Girls
commitments.
and Elementary.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't tell you. Elementary, I just feel, I keep saying this to Charlize. I'm like, this show is actually getting better.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's like, I can't believe it. I was like, oh, they finally got courageous and started, that's why I feel a show is courageous. If they stopped doing the whole NCIS thing, it was like, this happened and these are the crimes and, oh, no, this is, because they did that for the first few seasons. Like, no, that wasn't it. Maybe it's this. No, it wasn't that. And they go on and finally, and now it feels more flowing. Like, they're not like faking you out and saying, oh, I was wrong too much. They still kind of do it.
Yeah.
But they're doing less. And I find that courageous because most shows are usually wrong. I'm like, yeah, they haven't solved this yet. There's 20 minutes left in the show.
That's awesome.
It's impossible.
Yeah, there's no way. Yeah,
there's just no way. Yeah, he's not the guilty one. It's too, so too close to, too much longer.
My method works 100% of the time.
They trick you, though. They're going to have some actors in there that are not the killers.
Okay.
That are, people,
right.
yeah. I just watched one that had Kevin Arnold's father in it.
Okay.
And he wasn't the killer.
That's great. Kevin Arnold's father.
Yeah, I have no idea what his name is. No.
Kevin Arnold's father.
Kevin Arnold's father, yeah. And I like him.
That's
I'm like,
great.
he looks the same as he did back in the Wonder Years.
Good on him.
Yeah, that's what the hell. All right, so.
Actually, yeah, that's funny. We were watching. Mick was watching the Gilmore Girls, and I was actually watching because I was eating at the time. And I don't care what's on TV. I will watch anything, including Gilmore Girls. Yeah. And this one actress was on it. You've seen her 1,000 things. I don't even think she has a name. But I said, boy, she looks fantastic because she was big in the 80s. And this girl came on. I'm like, my God, she looks fantastic for her age. Yeah. It makes remember the show was 20 years old. I'm like, oh. I'm like, now I get it. Yeah. I'm like, God damn.
Damn, she looks good. Wow, that's because it's in high def now.
It's not even what I call an attractive girl. It's just the fact that, I've hit the age where if, I saw you in the 80s and you look remotely similar in this day and age, holy shit, God bless you. Like, how did you do it?
Oh, that reminds me. I don't know if you saw the tweet that Clint Eastwood, and God bless Clint Eastwood. He's a crazy old man now, but he put out a tweet, and it was a picture of him throughout the years.
Okay.
And just saw him getting older and older. And the last picture was this crazy, disheveled-looking Clint Eastwood. And I pretty much, I'm going to try to say this verbatim, but it said something to the kin of, so I'm going to paraphrase what I'm trying to say. It said that, I think I lost my chance to age gracefully.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, all right.
That's pretty good.
That was kind of cool. But, yeah, you look like crap in the last picture, And I could tell the one 2 before is when he was talking to that chair.
That's awesome.
Because he lost his mind a little bit.
It happens.
Yeah, a lot happens. But, yeah, so good for Clint Eastwood.
You know what? I can't believe I didn't talk about this, and I'm probably going to offend somebody because, as I do, if you haven't yet, do yourself a favor. Just go get vaccinated. I don't care if you think Trump's the greatest thing in the world. I don't care. Yeah. I keep reading stories about people that are laying in a hospital bed dying, and they say, you know what? I was wrong. Give me the vaccine. And you know what the doctors say to them? Yeah, maybe you can do it in the next life because you fucked yourself for this one. Enjoy your death. And they can't do a goddamn thing about it. It's too late when you're laying in a hospital bed. So, not for nothing. I know that there's people out there that are willfully spreading misinformation. Disinformation, a beautiful word.
Yeah.
Fuck yourself. But if you know what I'm talking about, and I know some of you do, there are some cases of side effects with anything. This is a vaccine.
Yep.
Vaccines, Bill Gates is not tracking you. It's completely asinine. Completely asinine. Yep. Bill Gates can't keep his wife. You think he's tracking you?
Yeah.
What the fuck, people? Yeah. But it's not some conspiracy theory. People are literally getting sick and dying. And I know the people that aren't going to listen aren't going to listen. Yep. But I'm sorry. When you lose your loved ones or you yourself go, and it sucks, and you lament your poor decision-making, too fucking bad. I'm sorry that I don't mean to be a prick about it. I really am heartbroken that you have such poor decision-making skills. But go get vaccinated, regardless of your political beliefs. And you know what? If I'm wrong, you'll probably be alive to tell me as much. So be it. So there's my PSA for today. But seriously, pull your head out of your ass, folks.
I usually don't jump in, but I'm going to jump in here because I'll be the fact checker of the show.
I love it.
So, fact, you cannot get the flu from the flu vaccine.
Okay.
Fact, you cannot get COVID from the COVID vaccine. It's impossible. You can get flu-like symptoms. You can get COVID-like symptoms. But you cannot get the flu or COVID from the vaccine. It's impossible. They're dead cells. Impossible. So, and there's no microchips.
There's no microchips.
There's no microchips. Fact.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And if you take it, and it's even better than when I hear the, as long as you don't take the Johnson & Johnson, unfortunately.
Yeah,
sounds like
that does, yeah.
That one is, it's now not covering the new Delta variant now.
Yeah.
So the people who had the 2 vaccines are the ones that really are, but it's lasting longer than even the flu vaccine as far as protecting you. So it's worth it. I mean, it really is.
My point is, people are deciding they were wrong when it's way too late. And the problem there is, we're not talking you have a case of the sniffles or you feel like shit for a week. We're talking you go to the hospital and you do not come back. Yep. And that sucks.
I do have a coworker that got COVID, and during COVID, lost the sense of smell.
Yep.
Still not back. Been cured for I don't know how long, 6 months now, more. No sense of smell, gone.
Wow.
Gone.
That's crazy. Well, yeah, they're saying, I mean, it's scary shit, guys. Yep. Even people are going to the hospital, don't even know they had COVID, and there's severe damage to their lungs.
Yep.
They
say it's permanent.
Yeah, this is some serious shit, and I mean, I'm not. I'd call you a germaphobe. I'm not a germaphobe.
I'm a germaphobe.
But I am being stupidophobe, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just, it's driving me nuts. We're playing a numbers game here, folks. Yes, a certain percentage are going to have adverse effects. It's a very small percentage, especially when you compare it to the very large, very real percentage that's going to have that little effect called dying.
Yeah.
That's a pretty negative effect in my book.
Yeah, not good.
So, I know they're out there. I know somebody's watching OAN. I know somebody's giving all that money to Fox News.
Yep.
I doubt very much you're listening to our show. But if you are, or if you know somebody is, because frankly, let's face it, yes, I am talking about your parents. Yeah. Yes, I see you through this camera right now. I'm talking to you, and I'm talking about your parents.
Yes.
Talk to them. And I know it's not an easy conversation, and I know it's not one conversation. But you know what? I'd rather piss them off and get them, beat them over the head and drag them to the fucking vaccine center if I need to. I'd rather have them alive to be pissed at me than have them to deal with the alternative.
Well, the rumor is that Fox News, FAUX,
That's great.
has been changing their tune because they're starting to realize that it's their audience who votes for conservatives, that they're the ones that are dying.
Funny how that works. I mean, I have to admit, and again, I'm not a Democrat, but as a liberal-leaning person, I did kind of think in the beginning of all this COVID, part of my brain, the evil part of my brain did say, oh, good, this should work out nicely. The problem should just solve itself.
Yes. Yeah, but it's still because a lot of people they're like sheep, and it's not fair. It's either they're trusting somebody to tell them the truth and they're not. So they're just, people are dumb and they will listen to them and not take the vaccine.
Exactly.
And it's a shame people are that dumb.
I understand that on an individual level. I get that. People don't take the time to cross-examine facts and they believe everything they're told. I get that. But then you start proselytizing to everyone around you. Vaccines are bad, or you're abusing your children if they get vaccinated. I swear to Christ, if I had a kid and you stood up to me and told me that I'm abusing my kid for not or for getting them vaccinated, I would seriously, I'm not even remotely being funny, I would teach you what the word abuse, how that is defined.
Yep. See the difference?
I would not be okay with any of that. Yeah, it's just this is literally life or death. And I mean, just if you're anti-vaccine, great. I mean, and that's not great, actually. Bad shit's going to happen to you, and it makes me sad. But at least keep it to yourself.
Yep.
That's what I say.
Yep.
Granted, I'm on my show proselytizing about the vaccine itself, but not for nothing. I'm asking you to save your dumbass.
Yeah. Do yourself a favor. Google the YouTube video bullshit vaccinations. Penn and Teller, like 20 years ago, did a video on vaccinations and why people are stupid, even then, because it's not new.
I do love Penn and Teller, too, by the way.
Yeah, it was a great show they did on Showtime called Bullshit. And yeah, this is one of the episodes they did is explain why vaccines is a good thing, because anti-vaxxers have always been there.
People will never understand the difference between correlation and causation.
No.
They just never, it's just too profound. Like, this happens when this happens, therefore that caused this. And
Yeah.
it's like, no.
Yeah.
Please, no.
Well, yeah, that's what people get the flu shot and go, I got the flu right after the flu shot. And
Well,
I'm like,
precisely,
yeah,
exactly.
no, you're wrong. What caused it?
People read the scientific method once and suddenly they're scientists.
Yeah.
But
Question everything? Yeah, unless someone's smarter than you. You know, to a certain degree.
I mean, yeah, within reason.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't believe in science, then I don't know what to tell you. I'm not saying you're on the cutting edge of science, but I'm saying things that have been repeatedly, peer-reviewed and studied.
Yeah.
The results replicate themselves when performed under the same conditions.
Yeah.
i.e. scientific method.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, it's not a theory anymore. Yeah, it's
Well, people make that argument that, like, oh, theory of evolution. If you understand science, you understand everything's a theory and will always be a theory because you can never actually prove anything.
yeah.
And I mean, prove you're you without the argument, I'm me.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah. Whoa.
But I mean, it's crazy. But anyway, we were supposed to be landing our plane and then we fucking diverted.
No, we owe the people something extra. This is bonus footage here.
All new bonus material for you guys. Nothing but
Bonus.
the best for our fans.
Bonus, yes.
Sincerely, though, I am sorry this was such a delay, and I say that as much to you, Kevin, as I do everyone out there.
Yeah.
It was largely me. It was.
Yeah.
Although, in all fairness, the other
One time I did skip.
the one time I said no when you showed up,
Yeah.
I would have said no had I not already.
Yeah.
You were in a foul mood, and it was just like, yeah,
Yeah.
this is not a show night.
Yeah. I left work in a bad mood one day.
Exactly. So I'd already canceled the show by that point, but had I not, I would have taken one look at you and been like, we're not doing a show tonight.
Yeah. We could have done the show, but there's no way we could have aired it.
Yeah, exactly.
It would have been impossible.
It would not have been a good show. Be like, Kevin, what do you think this is this? Well, I think that fucking sucks. Is what I think, Sean.
Yeah, that's what I yeah. Which is funny. I still do have an episode that I never aired, but yeah, and I never will.
Oh, that's great.
When we first started.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
The worst part, folks, is if you're a first-time listener, I'm not kidding. We've come so far.
Yeah.
We are so much better.
Well, you are. I just say, hey.
No, it's yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm a paid peanut gallery.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, I'm going to just once again give a big thank you to everyone out there. We've missed you as well, and glad to be back. And, well, we're trying to do our bi-weekly schedule. So
Alrighty.
we'll see you soon, I'm sure.
All right.
With that, this is Sean.
This is Kevin.
And that's the one other thing.
Good night.